Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak Your Flow. I'm Michael, and today we're tackling one of the most frustrating problems English learners face. You know what I'm talking about. You watch English movies, you understand podcasts, you can read articles, but when it's time to actually speak, nothing comes out the way you want it to. If you've ever felt stuck in your head, knowing what you want to say but unable to say it smoothly, this episode is for you. And I've brought in someone who really understands this struggle. Olivia, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Michael. I'm excited to be here because this topic, it's the number one issue I hear from students. They come to me and say, Olivia, I've been learning English for years. I understand everything you say, but I can't speak back. And the look of frustration on their faces, it's real.
It is real. And here's what's interesting. This isn't about intelligence or talent. It's actually a predictable problem with a predictable solution. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it. So, Olivia, let's start with the why. Why can someone understand English perfectly but struggle to speak it?
Great question. Think about it this way. Understanding and speaking are two completely different skills. When you're listening or reading, you're in recognition mode. Someone gives you the words, the grammar, the structure, and your brain just needs to recognize it. It's passive.
Right, like recognizing someone's face versus drawing their portrait from memory.
Exactly. That's a perfect analogy. But speaking is active production. Your brain has to retrieve the vocabulary, construct the grammar, think about pronunciation, manage the flow of ideas, all in real time. And here's the kicker. Most learners have spent hundreds of hours practicing recognition and maybe 10 hours practicing production.
10 hours if they're lucky. And then they wonder why they can't speak fluently. It's like going to the gym and only watching other people lift weights, then being surprised when you can't lift anything yourself.
Exactly. And there's another layer to this. Many learners have what I call perfectionist paralysis. They're so afraid of making mistakes that they overthink every sentence before they speak. By the time they've mentally checked their grammar, chosen the perfect vocabulary, and rehearsed their pronunciation, the conversation has moved on.
Oh, I see this all the time. Students will pause for 10, 15 seconds mid-sentence because they're translating word by word in their head.
Yes, and that's the translation trap. When you're thinking in your native language and then translating, you're adding an extra step that fluent speakers don't have. Native speakers think in English. The thought and the language happen simultaneously.
So we've got three main problems here. Not enough speaking practice, fear of mistakes, and the translation trap. Before we get into solutions, I want to address something. A lot of learners feel discouraged because they think, I've been studying for so long, why isn't this working? What would you say to them?
I'd say this. You haven't been studying wrong, you've just been practicing the wrong skill. Reading and listening are valuable. They build your foundation. But if you want to speak, you have to practice speaking. It's that simple and that hard. The good news? Once you understand this, progress can happen surprisingly fast.
Let's talk about what's actually happening in the brain, because I think understanding this helps people realize it's not a personal failure, it's just how learning works.
Absolutely. So when you learn vocabulary by reading or listening, that information goes into what we call passive vocabulary storage. Your brain files it away in a way that says, I'll recognize this when I see it. But for speaking, you need active vocabulary, words that your brain can retrieve instantly without effort.
And moving words from passive to active storage requires a different type of practice.
Exactly. It requires production practice. Think about it. Every time you actively use a word in a sentence, you're creating a neural pathway. The more you use it, the stronger that pathway becomes. Eventually, it becomes automatic. But if you've only seen the word in a textbook, that pathway doesn't exist yet.
This reminds me of something a neuroscientist once told me. Your brain doesn't care about what you know, it cares about what you do.
That's perfect. And there's another element. Fluency is largely about automaticity. Native speakers don't consciously think about grammar rules while speaking. Phrases like have been doing or would have gone just flow automatically because they've used them thousands of times. For learners to reach that level, they need massive amounts of repetition in actual speaking contexts.
So it's not just about knowing the rules, it's about training your mouth, your mind, and your muscle memory to produce language automatically.
Yes, and here's something encouraging. You don't need perfect grammar to communicate effectively. Some of the most successful English speakers I know make small grammar mistakes, but they speak with confidence and clarity, and people understand them perfectly.
That's such an important point. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
Exactly. And when learners realize that, it lifts a huge weight off their shoulders.
All right, let's get into the how to fix it part. If someone's listening right now and thinking, okay, I get why I'm stuck, what do I actually do about it? Where should they start?
First step, start speaking every single day, even if it's just 5 minutes. And I mean actually producing language out loud, not just thinking in your head. This is non-negotiable.
What if someone says, but I don't have anyone to practice with?
You don't need anyone, at least not at first. Talk to yourself. I know it sounds strange, but it works. Describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm pouring water into the kettle. Now I'm waiting for it to boil. Narrate your day like you're the main character in a movie.
I love that. It's free, it's private, and you can do it anytime. What else?
Shadowing. This is one of my favorite techniques. Find a podcast, a YouTube video, or an audiobook in English. Listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat it exactly as you heard it. Same rhythm, same intonation, same speed. This trains your mouth and your brain to produce natural English patterns.
And it helps you move away from that word-by-word translation approach because you're copying chunks of language.
Exactly. Which brings me to my next point. Stop learning individual words. Start learning phrases and collocations. Instead of memorizing important as a single word, learn it's important too. An important decision. The most important thing is. When you speak, you'll pull out these ready-made chunks instead of building sentences from scratch.
That's huge. It's like having pre-built Lego blocks instead of trying to construct every block yourself.
Perfect analogy. Now, here's a technique that really accelerates progress, recording yourself. I know people hate this,
Oh, they hate it.
but it's incredibly effective. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute on any topic, then listen back. You'll immediately notice where you hesitate, where you make errors, where your pronunciation is off. It creates self-awareness that you can't get any other way.
And the beautiful thing is, you can see your own progress. Record yourself today, then record the same topic again in a month. The improvement is tangible.
Yes. Now, let's talk about thinking in English, because this is critical. The translation habit is hard to break, but here's how you start. Think in simple English. Don't try to translate complex thoughts word for word. Instead, simplify. If you want to say something complicated in your native language, ask yourself, how would I explain this to a 5-year-old in English?
That's really practical, because fluent speakers actually do this. They choose simpler words and structures to communicate clearly.
Exactly. And one more thing, make mistakes intentionally. I tell my students, your goal this week is to make 50 mistakes. It sounds crazy, but it removes the fear. If you're supposed to make mistakes, then each mistake becomes a small victory, not a failure.
I love that reframe. What about conversation practice with real people? When should someone seek that out?
Once you've built up some confidence through solo practice, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, start seeking conversation partners, language exchange apps, online tutors, conversation clubs. But here's the key. Go into these conversations with specific goals. Don't just chat aimlessly. Say, today I'm going to practice using the past perfect tense, or I'm going to work on not translating in my head.
Intentional practice.
Always. And one final piece of advice. Consume content slightly above your level and imitate it. If you want to sound natural, you need to absorb natural English. Watch interviews, listen to podcasts, pay attention to how people actually speak, the filler words, the pauses, the natural flow.
So, shadow that content, learn the phrases, use them in your own speaking practice.
Exactly. It all connects.
Before we wrap up, I want to talk about the mental side of this, because techniques only work if people actually use them, and a lot of learners give up because they don't see fast results. What's your perspective on this?
Fluency is not a light switch. It's a dimmer. It doesn't go from 0 to 100 overnight. You gradually get better, clearer, faster. But here's what I tell people. If you practice speaking for just 15 minutes a day, within 3 months, you will notice a significant difference. Not perfection, but real, noticeable improvement.
3 months? That's concrete. That's achievable.
It is. And the key is consistency over intensity. 15 minutes every single day beats 3 hours once a week because your brain needs regular exposure to build those automatic pathways we talked about.
What about people who feel embarrassed about their accent or their mistakes?
Here's the truth. Native speakers don't care about your accent as much as you think they do. What they care about is whether they can understand you. I've worked with students from all over the world, India, Brazil, Japan, Egypt, and each one has a unique accent. And you know what? That's beautiful. Your accent is part of your identity. Don't try to erase it, just focus on being clear.
That's powerful. And honestly, some of the most respected global leaders, business people, and academics speak English with strong accents. Their confidence and clarity matter more than sounding like they're from California or London.
Absolutely. And here's something I want every listener to remember. Every fluent English speaker you admire went through a phase where they sounded awkward, made mistakes, and felt frustrated. The only difference between them and you is that they kept speaking anyway.
They kept speaking anyway. That might be the most important sentence in this entire episode.
It really is. Because at the end of the day, the biggest obstacle isn't grammar or vocabulary. It's the willingness to be imperfect in public.
All right, let's bring this home. Olivia, if someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, I'm ready to commit, what's my action plan for tomorrow? What would you tell them?
Tomorrow, do 3 things. 1, spend 5 minutes talking to yourself out loud. Describe your morning routine, your plans for the day, anything. 2, find one English video or podcast, shadow 3 sentences from it. 3, write down 5 common phrases you want to start using and practice saying them 10 times each.
5 minutes of speaking, shadowing 3 sentences, practicing 5 phrases. That's so doable.
It is. And if you do that every day for a week, you'll already start to feel the difference. The words will come a little faster, the hesitation will decrease, and your confidence will grow.
Perfect. All right, everyone. Here's your challenge. Starting today, commit to 15 minutes of active speaking practice every day for the next 30 days. Record yourself on day 1 and day 30. I promise you, you'll be amazed at the progress. And remember, understanding English is impressive, but speaking it fluently, that's what opens doors. That's what builds careers, friendships, and opportunities. You've already done the hard work of learning. Now it's just time to practice using what you know.
And be kind to yourself in the process. Every conversation is practice. Every mistake is progress. You've got this.
Thanks so much for joining me today, Olivia. This was fantastic.
Thanks for having me, Michael. It was a pleasure.
All right, everyone. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Speak Your Flow, and drop a comment telling us what your biggest speaking challenge is. We read every comment, and we'll use your feedback to shape future episodes. Until next time, keep speaking, keep flowing, and remember, fluency is built one conversation at a time. See you in the next episode.